My name is Paris, and here are my stats in calisthenics, powerlifting, streetlifting, bodybuilding, running, and mobility. I've got some pretty decent muscle control as well. So, all of these things combined, I am stronger than 99.9% of lifters. If you consider all of these, if you consider each area specifically, then I'm still stronger than 99% in many of those areas. Maybe not running. Running's a little bit behind, and bodybuilding, I don't really train it that much specifically, but still, I've got some decent size. Not too bad if I do say so myself. And look, with all of these things, I am stronger than 99.9% of lifters as a vegan. But the truth is, of course I would be. I don't say that to be arrogant or anything like that. No, it's just because this is what I've chosen to do. And yeah, don't mind, this curly hair is going to get in my face a bit at the moment, but don't worry about it. I'm growing it out for real. But yeah, of course I'm going to be stronger than 99.9% because that's what I've dedicated myself to. That is what I'm focused to. So if you're a carpenter, woodworker or something like that, and you start from nothing and then you dedicate yourself to it for 3 years consistently, well then of course you're going to be better than 99 or even 99.9% of people who tried carpenting or who go carpenting. Because if you have the right mindset along with that, if you're analytical enough, if you have enough desire and you want to be the best carpenter in the world, then of course you're gonna be pretty damn good after 3 years of carpenting. So when it comes to me, when it comes to strength, when it comes to calisthenics, when it comes to all of these different areas of what the body is capable of doing, of course I want to be the strongest. And because I want to be the strongest, and because I do the work behind it, then of course, 3 years in, 3 years of consistent training, I am stronger than 99.9% if you consider everything combined, this combination of stuff. And that is to prove and to show that there is no difference between me and someone who isn't vegan. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to convince you of anything you're not convinced of already. I'm just trying to show you that it's just as possible for me as it is for someone else. If someone else who isn't vegan and they want to be one of the strongest and they genuinely want that and they work towards that, of course there will be. And I'm rooting for those people. I want them to have that strength. But if someone is vegan like myself and they have that same desire, well then there's no difference about what you can achieve. The point is you can achieve exactly the same whilst on a plant-based diet, whilst having the ethics and the lifestyle of veganism. And a lot of people are concerned about the vegan diet. Is it sufficient? Is it something you can do long term? I'm telling you, I'm showing you, it really, really is. And people will fearmonger, they'll be like, deficiency, bruv. It's gonna be all that deficiency if you don't have the right nutrients of B12 and you don't have your ZMA and all of that kind of stuff. But the truth is, as long as you are aware of just some basic nutrients, like yeah, sure, it's slightly harder to get certain things, just supplement them, bro. It's not that deep. Yeah? B12, omega-3s, multivitamins to cover all bases, creatine. Like everyone in the gym culture, we have creatine supplements, right? There's nothing bad about that. You can have plant-based collagen blends, which have a lot of the same amino acids as collagen. It's not actually collagen. But the point is, you can have everything, all of the essential nutrients that you need whilst on a plant-based diet. Of course you can. There is no relevant difference, and that's what I've done. And you see, I've helped others to do the same as well, like my friend Archit.
I've been working with Paris for the course of a few weeks, and it's genuinely changed the course of my life. Now, I know that's a bold statement to make, but I had so many limiting beliefs. Right? First of all, I'm vegetarian, and I always thought this was going to stop me building muscle and I'd reach my potential. But Paris is actually vegan, and he broke down those limiting beliefs I had so that now I know that there's so much more to give in the gym. There's so much more I can do with my diet.
And bro's pretty jacked as well, as you can see. Man is pretty jacked. I'm proud of my boy, as you're able to see. And that is what I specialize in. So if you want help with that, if that's something you want to achieve yourself, then check out the link below. More about that later. So I've told you that there's no real difference between what a plant-based vegan person can achieve and what a non-vegan can achieve. And there's loads of top vegan athletes. You've got people like Serena Williams, Patrick Baboumian, and a lot of these people, Nime Delgado, loads and loads of people who prove, just like myself, that you can achieve top levels without being someone who has meat or animal products. Of course you can be, of course you can achieve those things. It's very, very possible to achieve all those things. But you see, what I've achieved isn't just about what's possible for someone like me, but it's also about the mentality, the mindset behind it. And don't neglect this, because this is really important stuff. This, for whatever it is that you want to achieve, if you want to be the best, if you want to be truly successful and get to these top levels and have that long-term ability for yourself, well then what you have to do is have two things when it comes to your mindset. The first thing is desire. And I mean burning desire. You need to want this genuinely and deeply. Not just say you want it like everyone else loves to do. You have to actually want it genuinely deep down. And what that burning desire means is that you have some kind of mission, you have some kind of purpose or some kind of goal that you're oriented towards, some kind of identity that you want to see yourself become. And when it comes to that, you have no other choice, no other option but to make that real. And if you're fine, if you're kind of okay with that not being the case, if you're kind of okay with not being the strongest, you're kind of okay with not being the best carpenter, then you don't really want it, do you? If you don't have 100% desire for that thing, then you don't really want it. And if you don't really want it, then of course the person who really wants it, who 100% wants it, who has that burning desire for it, of course that person is going to achieve more of those things. And yeah, of course genetics matter. Genetics are something that is, of course, important, and it defines so much of what we're capable of. But the beautiful thing is, unless you have really, really poor cards when it comes to what you've been dealt, then you can achieve just as much, if not more, than others because of desire. If your desire is big enough, if it's sufficient, then of course you can achieve everything that you want to achieve. So that's the first thing. And for me, my desire is to be the strongest man to ever live. And what do I mean by that? I mean strength in all senses. The combination of strength, physical strength, mental strength, emotional strength, all of these things. When it comes to the physical side, I don't want to go for the world record deadlift or something like that. That's not what I mean. But I want to have the biggest combination of all of the things that I'm training at the moment. So yeah, maybe I do want to have a deadlift that's 300, 400 kg. I want to get my squat past 200, maybe 300 kg. I want to bench press 200 kg. I want to get my dip to repping at 100 kg added. I want to be able to pull up with 100 kg as well. I want to have full control and mastery over my body, doing skills like the clean iron cross, like the Maltese, like the full planche. All of these things, I want those. I genuinely want those. And I want the combination of all of that in the physical sense, but I also want it in the mental sense. I want it in the fact that I want no regrets. I don't want to feel that emotion of pain on my deathbed, knowing that I could have done something different. I don't want to feel that pain. I want to have my thoughts serve me and not have any limiting beliefs or ideas about what I'm capable of. I want to have emotional strength. I want to be able to be someone who is in control of his emotions, but also not afraid to express them. Someone who has this balance of having control and regulation over his own emotions, but the empathy and understanding towards others as well. I want to be the strongest, and I deeply mean that. I deeply, deeply mean that. I have no percentage of doubt about that fact. That is exactly what I want to be. You understand? And if you have that level of desire, then of course you're going to achieve that thing. There's no other option for you besides to achieve what it is that you've set your desire to. And the second thing, which helps, of course, if you have desire alone, if it's true desire, means that you will find a way. When there's a will, there's a way. And what helps as a character trait which either you can have originally or you can develop in line with the desire, is to be analytical, is to be a problem solver. So when it comes to life, when it comes to everything, there are problems that we experience. Of course there are. There's loads of stuff that goes wrong, stuff that goes right as well. There's plenty of stuff that goes wrong, or stuff that doesn't go as we'd hoped. And when it comes to stuff like that, what we have to do is be good at solving our own problems. No one else is going to do it for you, bro. You have to solve your own problems yourself, mate. And when it comes to solving your own problems, if you're analytical, if you realize what the problem actually is, because so many people don't realize the true limitation, the true things that are causing them to plateau in their lives, whether it's in the fitness, whether it's in their mindset or their beliefs or whatever it might be. If you get good at finding those things, if you become a problem solver, if you're analytical, if you do that not just for the bigger problems, but for the smaller problems within those bigger problems, if you have that quality, then you're gonna have that success. Of course you will. Because let's say you're walking down the road to success, the road to the freedom you want, to the strength you want, everything when it comes to that. Well, along the road, there's going to be some obstacles, okay? It's not a clean road, unfortunately. There are going to be some obstacles along the way. Now, if you're someone who gives up, then you're not even going to be walking the road that much. You're going to find one of them and you're going to fail. You're going to be someone who doesn't have the desire to get to the end and to achieve the freedom, success, whatever it is that you wanted to achieve. But let's say you have the desire and you hit one of these roadblocks, you hit one of these obstacles. Now, you will push through it, you will break through that regardless if you have enough burning desire. But what would help you then? Of course, being analytical, finding out that actually, if you run at it like this, you can jump over that obstacle. And then this one might be something you have to squeeze through. That you can find the solutions to that. And even if you have the desire, yes, you'll achieve it. But if you have that trait of being analytical, whether you have it naturally or whether you develop it, that trait of analysis, that aspect of being maybe a bit autistic about it, maybe having a lot of attention to detail for the little things about it all, that is what sets you apart. The people who have the greatest success, they have the greatest desire and the greatest ability to be analytical. And if they don't have these two things, they might get success in one thing for some period of time, but they're not happy. They're not actually successful. They might have a lot of money, but their emotional situation is terrible. They hate their life. They don't have anything that they really want. They have all these material, physical things, but nothing internal that would have actually given them peace and fulfillment and all of that. The people who have the greatest success are the people who have that greater self-understanding of what they're able to do. They have that understanding of what their desires are, and they realize what limitations they have within themselves even that are stopping them from achieving what they want. If you get rid of those limitations, then of course you're going to achieve everything that you want to achieve. And when it comes to setting yourself to a goal, like becoming the strongest, then you can do exactly that, even as someone who's vegan, someone who's plant-based. And you see, I have made a system which has both a vegan option and a non-vegan option because I want to help as many people as possible along this path. But you see, if you want to achieve this kind of strength, to get to the point where you have no limitations, you have the right balance of knowledge and belief to be able to get to the point where nothing has to stop you, whether it's your genetics, your environment, or anything like that. Whatever goal you set yourself to, if you want to bench 2 plates, I've done it, let me help you bench those 2 plates. If you want to get to doing 15 perfect form pull-ups like I can do, then get in touch with me, man. And you see, the best way for you to do that is through the Limitless Strength Blueprint. Here's everything that you get, and by going to that link below, booking a call, you can talk with me, we can talk through exactly what's needed for your specific situation and get you to the level of strength that you deserve. Because nothing, absolutely nothing matches that feeling. When you're doing muscle ups and flying over the bar, when you're doing a strap assisted line cross, when you're doing dips with 3 plates added, when you're achieving these things and realizing the potential you have, which is so far beyond what people have told you. When you have that, it is unmatched. And so, check that out below and make that happen. And as always, remember bro, keep improving.